So, I was duped by Pixar the other day. I went and saw the new Pixar movie, which of course is Cars 3. And I knew going in, of course, that it wasn't going to be one of their masterpieces. I mean, the thing with Pixar is I'm seduced by their resume. It's very hard for me to say, no, I'm not going to go see a new Pixar film just because it's got the number 3 after it. Toy Story 3 was phenomenal. So why would I mean, Cars, I loved the first film. A lot of critics were dissatisfied with the second film. I liked the second film. I thought it had Sacha Baron Cohen playing the villain car, whatever you want to call it. And he was funny, and I liked it. It wasn't as good as the first one, but all right. So I went into Cars 3 thinking I'll at least like it. And I would have to say that this was the first time that I've ever accused Pixar of phoning it in, which, I mean, is still not the same as a lot of other people phoning it in. For example, you couldn't get me, wild horses couldn't drag me to see the new Transformers movie or any other piece of garbage that so-called filmmaker Michael Bay does, okay? So when I say Pixar phones it in, it's a whole league of difference between a lot of other people phoning it in. But and they probably even deserve to take a little bit of a break because they're so innovative, and their screenplays, so many of their screenplays over the years have deserved Oscars, in my opinion. Most recently, Inside Out, I thought was the best screenplay. I don't think it won, even, because the Academy looks at it as, well, we gave it animated film, which is complete BS to treat a film that way. But anyway, I went into Cars, getting back on topic, I went into Cars 3 expecting a lesser experience, but still a likable one. I wasn't expecting at all to get Rocky with Cars. I mean, they're not the first, Pixar is not the first studio to come along and borrow someone else's idea. I'm surprised by them because they're usually so clever and original on their own. To be more specific, it's not because I know my Rocky. I'm a big Rocky fan. It's not just it's specifically Rocky 3 that they're stealing from here. Sylvester Stallone came up with this. I don't even know if he invented the formula, but the formula is that Rocky would start the movie at an absolute high, and then later in the film he would drop all the way down to an extreme low, and then midway through the film you slowly watch him climb back up, and and he rises back up, and then he ends the film on an extreme high note. And it seemed like, at least according to film critics, Sylvester Stallone took a lot of criticism with the Rocky movies. They said he basically just hit the restart button for every Rocky film, and let's do this again, and okay, I mean, I acknowledge what a formula is, but all it takes, I mean, there was only one Rocky film where I'll say I didn't like that one. That was, the one where he went to Russia. We all know that one. But all it takes is to see someone else copy to realize, formula as it may be, Sylvester Stallone did that better than anyone else does it. That particular thing. And so, in Cars 3, we see Lightning McQueen uh, take the exact same path except, that a typical Rocky movie takes. The same high to low to high again, with a twist, of course. I actually liked the ending of Cars 3, but I thought most of the film up and 2 was, like, really, Pixar? We're doing Rocky 3 here? I was surprised. I mean, all right, I'm down for an animated Rocky 3, I guess. Just tell me beforehand that's what it's going to be. They even did the beach scene with Rocky and Apollo. In Rocky 3, Apollo trains Rocky to run on the beach, and Rocky complains, how am I supposed to go as fast as I can go? And Apollo says, pretty much, dummy, that's the point. If you can do this, then imagine how fast you'll be in the ring. And in Cars 3, they just switch it around. It's instead of a ring, it's a racetrack. Lightning McQueen does the same. What are you talking about? I can't go as fast as I can. It's sand. It's the same scene. It's Rocky 3. What do they do? Did they think I wouldn't know? So I was a little let down that Pixar, would reach so far back, and and cruise control is really what they were in, to use a metaphor, an appropriate metaphor here. Cars 3 is far from a bad movie. I'm not saying it's a bad movie, but I was let down. I felt like I didn't need to see this in the theater. I could have. They didn't need to put it in the theater, to be honest. But by their own admission, Pixar, the Cars movies are primarily about merchandising. They sell more merchandise for the Cars films. You would think Toy Story loans itself to selling toys more, but no. They've sold more Cars merchandise than for any of their other films. And so even with all of this knowledge, I still went in there like a dummy. I mean, Pixar doesn't owe me an apology. I love their films so much. I made a choice. Like I say, between that and some of the other garbage that's in theaters this summer, there was no choice. I could have stayed home, I guess. That was a choice. But I felt like seeing something, and I picked what I thought was the safer of the bets. And it wasn't this time, but Pixar, it still has me as a devoted fan for life, and I will definitely see Coco in November. I'll be running to the front of the line to see that one. That looks wonderful. So, no hard feelings, Pixar. It's just, Rocky 3? I guess I just won't go see Cars 4, that's all. No big deal, Pixar. That's all I have to say on Cars 3. Thanks for listening.